free to call me Sandy. Okay? This is like a beauty contest, you know that, right? Like, we're standing here trying to sell ourselves to you guys, and you get to choose who you want to do the field lab with, which is kind of fun, right? And that's why I wrote this little. Before I say that, let me say something else. I used to think that in terms of this beauty contest, the worst thing that could happen to a professor was to be in a day after the consulting lab's presentation, right? I've experienced that, and what happens is that like 90% of the students leave the room after the consulting lab's presentation. So I felt today's good because I'm not after the consulting labs. Well, turns out that consulting labs is next week, right? So this is even worse, okay? So thank you for being here. I've written this word on, anybody know what language this is? Well, not the professor, right? You know everything. The students. No? This is Japanese, okay? No Japanese speakers. Good. Well, it's a term which is sort of, I've learned, it's part of Japanese culture. And it sort of means that you have to know what you're not good at, let's put it this way, right? There's a German saying that is something like Selbsteinsicht ist der erste Weg zur Besserung, for those of you who know German. It's similar, so Japanese and German culture have this. It's good to know what you're bad at, because then at least you can sort of try to improve or do things that you know you're good at, right? And I know that I'm not very good at standing here selling my field lab to you. So I've put up a little presentation to try to help me, and I also have AJ here who will help me in the end. I'll come to that in a second. Okay, AJ is a fellow student. So, family business case writing lab, okay? 3 questions I want to try to answer today very shortly. One is, family business case writing. There's 2 words or 2 expressions. Family business, why family business? And case writing, why case writing? So those are the 2 questions I'm going to try to answer, and then give you some more information on how it will work, okay? Why family business? Well, I always say this, it's sexy, okay? Sex sells, you know that, right? So I say it's sexy, and why do I say it's sexy? Well, for a couple of reasons. You tend to think of family businesses as something where, mom and pop shops, small companies. Well, many famous and well-known brands that you know are actually family businesses, okay? Well, we can discuss a lot about what is the right definition of a family business. There's a lot of discussion going on about that. But these companies qualify as family business in my view. And some of them are very interesting, right? We talked about Cuba just before. Bacardi is originally a Cuban company. They're quite interesting as a family business, for instance. Very old companies, Kikkoman, the famous soy sauce producers from Japan. Okay, so quite interesting. And it's, there's another reason why I say it's sexy, right? Because really family businesses is where 2 worlds collide. Okay, family and business, right? And this collision, this overlap between the 2 spheres is, as we all know, a source of potential conflict. Okay? Because you start arguing with somebody and suddenly this person is your son or your father, and emotions get in the way. So emotions play a big role in family businesses, right? It can be a source of conflict, as I say, but it can also be a source of competitive advantage. Okay? Some of you have taken my course, so you know this, right? So it's a little bit of this yin and yang thing, right? It's also, we say it's a paradox, a living paradox of family business. So family business is sexy, but it's also other things. So it needs attention from business schools, and it's an important topic. It can really make a difference. Why does it need attention from business schools? Because, traditionally it's been like an ugly duckling between businesses. People tend to think of family businesses as not very professional, and with not so good performance. Actually, there are studies that say that family businesses perform better than non-family businesses. Again, a lot of arguing about this, but it's good that from recent years onwards, I would say the last 15 years, maybe 20, a lot of academic interest has been developed to this topic. Right? So there are a lot of frameworks, ideas, and it's a flourishing field in academia. It can make a difference, really, because, as I say, how do you turn these challenges, these potential sources of conflict, into sources of competitive advantage? The more family businesses know about what the good practices are, what you have to do well, because you're a family business, the better, right? So it's quite an important topic and I like it anyway, so I should have said this. Let me just interrupt here. I teach for 4 years here at Nova, but most of what I do in my life is I'm part of a family business. So I manage a business together with cousins, brothers, parents, next generation, etc., etc. So I bring the two fields together, the more practical experience and the academic background. Why case writing? Okay. Well, you can look this up in the syllabus because there's a detailed explanation about this there. But really, I think that case writing is a good way to complement other things that you have done. Okay? You've used case studies probably in many of your courses. So now you get the chance to see the other side, which is writing a case. Okay? And by writing a case, you can not only focus on a company, on a real situation, but also bring that together with the academic knowledge that should go behind writing a case. It's challenging and fun. Okay? It's challenging because it's not always easy. You're going to be asked to work with the company, interview people, and try to find the specific characteristics of this family business that provide a nice angle to write a case about. Because a case, and that's the other challenge you'll find, many companies think that writing a case on this company is to write just how nice and how well everything goes. And it's like, okay, we're writing a case on this company, on our company, because we're so good. Good cases are not about focusing on everything that's good. A good case is writing about a challenge that somebody is facing. Okay? So convincing the company that you're going to need to be doing that, first of all, and then finding that good angle can be challenging. But at the same time, it's fun because it's a little bit like, I used to say that it's a bit like investigative journalism. So you're going to be researching a lot, but also interviewing, complementing the two things, and reading a lot about the academic background that has to do with the topic that you choose, because you'll not only be writing the case, and I should have said that, part of writing the case is also writing the so-called teaching note. Many of you probably don't know that good cases are not only the case that you read when you're a student. There's a teaching note which helps professors actually teach that class. Okay? And the case you're going to be writing includes both parts. And then finally, it's important for it's important for the school. Okay, the school, as you know, our school is known for its academic performance, its achievements, the research that is going on, and case writing is one way of doing research. So actually, some of the cases that are written by students are then can enter a competition that will take place after the summer, which then goes on a national level, and our school has won these competitions, I think, for 2 years in a row now, right? So this might be an interesting angle also for your thesis. It's important for the family businesses because I consider that family businesses need attention, need not only the help in getting better, but also often you find that people are a little bit shy of saying that they're a family business, right? And it's good that we give them the feeling that being a family business is actually a good thing, right? So it's win-win-win. It's good for the school, it's good for the businesses, and hopefully it will be good for you. Okay, how will it work? Well, we're going to set up 1 or 2 students per family business, and we're going to have workshops and guidance throughout the semester, meaning that from September onwards, also typically on a 2-week basis, we're going to meet, and we will have both workshops that will focus on specific issues, family business issues, but also case writing issues. So I'll help you in understanding the whole logic of writing a case. Okay? And then individual guidance, meaning that when you choose your object and you start working with the company, we will have more individual feedback on whatever it is you're doing. We will get the help of the Portuguese Family Business Association to find companies, but of course you're also more than welcome then to propose companies that you know and want to work with, either in Portugal or outside. It doesn't really matter. Okay? And this is the work plan we used last year, and you can look it up on Moodle. You don't have, it's just for you to have an idea that really it's quite structured with the sessions that take place every 2 weeks. And so we go through different phrases from searching public data sources to interviews, as I said, and writing a first draft, etc., etc. Okay, good. Now, we're going to be limiting this to 12 students, and then depending on, again, the individual write-up will be individual, as the name says, right? Even if you're two people working on one business, you'll probably be focusing on completely different issues and write completely different cases. The enrollment key for the field lab is FC, so Family Business Case Writing Lab. Let me point this out. Okay, FC Lab 16. And what I ask you to do is upload an application that is basically a one-page CV and a motivation letter. If needed, depending on how many applications we have, we will do interviews so that we can choose a final set of students. Okay, so this is it from me. I would like you to meet Alex James. I call him AJ. I don't know if he likes that. AJ was my student in the last semester. Well, actually the fall semester. And he's here for one reason. Well, two reasons. One is to say that I was lying, that it was not at all like this. And the second one is for you to know him and feel free to contact him because more than me, he'll be happy to, he'll give you the true picture. Okay? Anything you want to add, AJ?
Yeah, well, I found it very interesting because of the emotions involved in business. And you got to deal with like real companies. For example, I had Santini, which is small, but they were really open. So like you get to do interviews and they really open themselves like on their family ties, family issues, anything. And about writing the case, it's pretty fun because you can use your creativity. Just because it's not really like a usual report or an assignment, it's more like a narrative. And so make it for students to find the issue. You can't write it there. And Sandy as a mentor was followed me a lot because you get to do like weekly classes, and so you learn how to write these case studies which I never knew how to do before.
Good, thank you. I paid him to say this. Good. And Santini, by the way, was great because for those of you who are Portuguese, you know Santini, of course. The non-Portuguese, maybe you've seen it, right? It's a little chain of high-end, very good ice cream. It's a producer with stores, and they're expanding throughout Portugal. Good. So, questions from you guys now. Otherwise, no. Well, thanks. Yeah, there's a question. Sorry, there's a question. Okay, so here's the thing. I've had students who've done the family business course before with me, like AJ. But I've also had students who haven't, right? Now, you get support from me, lots of readings, etc., and we can even schedule some sessions which are more specific into family business topics. So it works both ways. You don't have to have had the course. Okay. Good. Thanks.